Hi, it's Claire from Flawless POS. Today we're going to be looking at sales order processing. As you can see, I've already created 2 sales orders for this customer, and I'll be using these 2 sales orders to demonstrate to you how we can process a sales order using on-hand inventory, and also how we can process a sales order by creating a purchase order for out-of-stock items. I'll use the first sales order in the grid to show you how we can allocate stock from on-hand inventory. If I expand the sales order, I can see that the product in question is a bead necklace. When I go to my product management list, I see that I have 1 item in stock and it's available for allocation. Now back in the orders grid, I can also see that this sales order is pending processing. So let me just minimize the products, and I'm going to click on the menu to process the sales order. If I navigate past the sales order details screen, I will arrive at the sales order lines. And here I can see that 0 items have been allocated and 0 items are on purchase order. So I can click on bulk actions and simply say auto allocate on hand. Now because I have 1 item in inventory, it will get allocated to this sales order over there. I can also click on it and I can go to the allocated tab and I can see that it has been allocated from the store. Now I'm going to finish here, and you will see that if I go back to the product management list and refresh, it now shows that this product is allocated to that particular sales order. When I return to the sales order, it also no longer says pending processing. Instead it says ready, and that means that it's ready for invoicing or ready to have a memo created for this sales order. Now let's look at how to create a purchase order for an item that's not in stock. So I'm going to just click process sales order and navigate to the sales order lines. So here I can click bulk actions and say PO or unallocated, and it will find all the sales lines in your sales order that hasn't been allocated to on-hand inventory, and it will go and create or allocate a purchase order to be created for that item. Now this is all I need to do, because when I click finish, it's going to come up with a screen to show me which products are going to go onto a purchase order. And over here I can see this is my bead necklace. If I complete it, the sales order grid is going to update, and it will no longer be, sorry, I'm going to skip through this. It will no longer be pending processing. Instead, it's going to show me that 1 item is on purchase order. Now, obviously, it's not ready, so we can't invoice it or memo it. So we need to go to the vendor next to complete this purchase order process. Before going over to the vendor, let me just show you in the product management list. So previously, we had this item allocated to the sales order, and now you'll see that we also have 1 item allocated to a purchase order, and here it gives us the purchase order number 625. So going to the vendor, I can now refresh the purchase order tab over here, and we should see a purchase order 625, and everything is as expected. I can confirm that it's the correct product by expanding the product list, and here we see that it's the bead necklace. And from here I can go ahead and do an intake for this purchase order. There are 2 ways within the vendor module that one can do an intake for a purchase order. The first being to click on the link in the pending column, and this will open the intake wizard. See? Otherwise we can also go to the received tab and click receive merchandise. I'll just continue doing that for the moment, and I'll choose to receive from purchase orders. Now by choosing that option, on the next screen, the product selection screen, it will return all products for this vendor for which purchase orders have been created. And so I'm just going to choose this item that we're working with and continue to the review screen. If I'm satisfied after reviewing the intake, I simply need to click on complete to finalize the intake. Of course, there's an actions menu where I can download the merchandise received document or do another intake, but I don't need to do that. I'll just continue for now. And there we are. We have received an intake for this purchase order. If I navigate back to the product management list and refresh the grid, we can now see that 2 items have been allocated. The purchase order is no longer allocated, and we have an item allocated to each of those sales orders that we've been working with. And back in the wholesale module, if I look at the orders, I can see that both items are now ready for either invoicing or memo. Okay, good. So that's it for this video. Please join back. In the next video, we'll be looking at how to step through the quality control process when you're doing an intake for a purchase order. Until then, bye-bye.